Howdy guys. Okay, I'm here. I was going to stew over this for another 24 hours, but I couldn't do it. Had to get this out tonight. Haven't done a lot of preparation. Just wasn't in the mood. Certainly wasn't in the mood last night to even think about this game. Don't know if flat as attack is the word, but certainly a little bit despondent. And I hadn't prepared a lot. Pretty much, it looked like we hadn't prepared a lot either. So it's systematic of where our football club is at. So I don't even know if this is going to be a rant. I'll try not to be too emotional about this because we need to be fairly realistic. I've been very consistent that we are middle of the road, but the concern for me and the reason why I was pretty despondent last night was the fact that this for me was a definite step backwards. I was looking for improvement against good opposition, and we didn't see it. In fact, if I draw an analogy from school, okay, and the grading system within schools, once upon a time, anything above 50 was a pass, okay? Anything below 50 was a fail, so I used to call it pass-fail. Then the whole terminology changed, like a lot of things have done in society. It changes to keep people happy, sort of politically correct terminology. So the terminology went from pass and fail to satisfactory and ungraded, or non-satisfactory. And then it went even further. I'm not quite sure when this happened, but anything between 40 and 50, which is an E in the old days, which was a fail, that became a satisfactory. Okay, and anything below 40, okay, is considered ungraded. Okay, ungraded, and you get an opportunity to reset. Okay, you get an opportunity to reset and do it all again, and a chance, okay, to get a satisfactory. And last night, our fucking performance was ungraded. Ungraded. That's how bad it was. So if I'm a teacher and I saw that performance last night, and I'm grading that, it is ungraded. In fact, it was below 30%. And we have to reset that. And the only positive, and this is another thing that concerns me, try doing the votes from that game. Try doing the votes. And the thing that concerns me is we learnt nothing new last night. Nothing new. But the only positive I got waking up this morning, and the thing that drives me to keep going from a supporter point of view, is the fact that at least we get the opportunity to reset this and have another go at it against next week. This time, again, with quality opposition. But if I'm ungrading that, and that was such a fucking poor performance, as a school teacher, I want to know why. I want to know why, David Teague. I want to know why. Okay, that performance was ungraded. Considering this is a professional football club that's put finals as an expectation on their head, that have talked the talk, and it's an ungraded performance in another big game. Not just an honourable loss, but an ungraded performance. And a step backwards. I want to know why, because you've had plenty of time to prepare for this. Plenty of time. So you talk about learnings, you've had plenty of time. Particularly mentally. I spoke in the preview about the opportunity for our leaders and our core group. How many hits around the head do this group need before Teague now goes, okay, it's not working with this core group. It's not working with you guys. I love you all. Okay, I played with some of you. And when I first got the job, okay, I chucked a few of you in the midfield and you lifted, okay, and you got me the senior job. But things have changed now, Dave. Things have changed, and we are not progressing. And last night we actually went backwards. Not forwards, backwards. And the only thing we can hang on to the fact that we can go back again next week. It's the only thing. But there's no proof. There's no proof in that performance last night to suggest that we've shown any improvement under you. So my concern now is for David Teague, and this isn't getting stuck into him, because I'm actually feeling a little bit for him, and I think he's just peddling. Sorry, I think he's just paddling. Okay, treading water, his head above the water, and he's sinking fast. I think he's lost just about all of the supporter base, and really the club probably don't give a fuck about that. But the fact of the matter, it was nearly the supporters that got him the job in the first place. The overwhelming support for David Teague and the Teague train. So if he's lost us and his messaging, God only knows he's probably starting to lose these players as well. Because this is the core group of players. This is the core group of players that essentially made fucking Brendan Bolton a fucking laughing stock. So we now have to fucking ask serious questions. Who is the problem here? Who is the real problem? So he talks about learning. Why aren't these players learning? Are they incapable of learning? So I look at that game last night and I'm fucking jealous. I am jealous. I am jealous of Port Adelaide. I fucking undersold them. I apologise, I undersold them. We only see them on TV. I oversold us. I was trying to pump myself up to find a reason why we could win this game. But they, so fucking envious of how good they were and how bad they made us look. Just like how bad Collingwood made us look in that 5-goal margin, whatever it was in the end, completely flattered us. We were never in that game, never. And this is, we listen to press conferences. I like to listen to the little bits and pieces, the body language from the coaches, particularly the opposition coach. And Kenny from Camperdown, God love Kenny from Camperdown. He's been in the Cape for a long time now. And you know what? Fuck, if he can win a premiership, fantastic, because he fucking deserves it. He's been in the ups and downs and I don't know, he deserves it. He's got this team right where he wants it. But this is a total disrespect, I reckon, that Kenny has for the opposition last night. And 24 hours before this, what he said in the press conference last night, he said again in the press conference on the Friday that we were a quality football team. Fucking taking the piss, Kenny. Taking the piss, mate. You knew we would listen to that. You sucked the supporters in. You probably sucked the Carlton players in as well. Oh, they're a quality outfit, Carlton. Oh, they pushed us last year to a point. Oh, they're quality. Obviously, Kitty didn't fucking watch the back end of last year or our performance against Collingwood and Richmond, okay, or performance against St Kilda in the preseason. He's fucking taking the piss. But at half time, okay, he said in the press conference, he said, this is what he said. The game was put away in the second quarter. The game was put away in the second quarter. And we had complete control of the game and we had it where we wanted. You know what they led by at half time? And he basically said they were winning the cruise control in the last quarter. Okay, they had to manage players because they had about 3 blokes with corkies. They had a guy off the ground who'd been subbed off. They had young Lockie Jones with an ankle injury. And we were only able to kick 3 goals, so they were still playing with us. We only trailed by 23 points at halftime, but Kenny said they had the game in complete control. 23 points. And he knew we weren't coming back from that because he knew we weren't capable. They are a capable football team. They're capable. They know what they're doing. So fucking ram your inside 50s and your scoring shots up your arsehole because that is football. Football's about efficiency. Football's about making good decisions, using the ball as you don't want to use it much, knowing what you're doing, getting it forward, okay, and scoring. And they were a joy to watch. But on the other side of the ledger, our poor supporters watching that, after 6 years, after 6 fucking years watching that. I said opportunity for these core group of players who've been around a long time now, who've had plenty of hits around their head. This is a make or break game. So I want to know now, David, who out of that core group can no longer take us forward. Because I don't know whether I can keep going and watching these blokes play, these same core group. And I've wanted to fucking like them. I've wanted them to succeed. And I sort of still do. But I don't think I can now because I don't think it's possible. So how many times are we going to see Betts, Murphy, Plowman, Jones, Casbolt, Nunes, etc., 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 all these guys who played a lot of footy, and have been around the blocks, who shit their pants when it really matters against quality opposition. I'm not potting our leaders, but everyone knows my thoughts, okay, on our leadership. Okay, Cripper and Doherty, for me, it doesn't work. Having two captains, it doesn't work. So I want to know actually who's leading this group. Is it Sam Walsh? Is it Jacob Wiedering? And I thought, for the most part, Doherty tried pretty hard last night, but he continues to make those just costly errors. And it's almost errors on the back of really a lack of system in our back half. Players. There was one passage of play that just summed it up for me. It wasn't the mistake by Doherty, but it was in the third quarter. Mitch Georgiadis, who, goodness gracious me, can't he play? Can't he play? He led up to the ball. We trailed him. He took the ball, took the mark outside forward 50. Liam Jones stood the fucking mark. Probably our best intercept defender and best spoiler, who can come third man up, stood the mark. That's how disorganised we were. Instead of someone else quickly coming over to take the mark, Liam Jones should have spread back again and supported Jacob Wiedering. But he was left standing the mark. Ball goes inside forward 50 and Big Dixon just, the one hand, okay, against Jacob Wiedering. Not one fucking player came third man up. Not one or second man up did not come up to support Jacob Wiedering. Every time the ball came inside forward 50 for us, Port Adelaide were double teaming either Levi Casbolt, okay, or Harry. Okay, they just did it to perfection. They supported each other. It didn't matter who got the ball. It didn't matter who got the ball. They just knew what to do because they're a unit. And as far as I can see, we've got some just some very selfish players who want to do it all by themselves. And I don't know if it's selfish or just a lack of system, a lack of direction, a lack of faith. Okay, and this has become a consistent thing with Cripper. I'm seeing it a little bit in Sardi, Adam Sard. I see a little bit in our new player, Zach Williams, and you can't blame them coming into a system, okay, where there isn't a lot of support. They feel like they need to do it all by themselves. And I'm just going to finish off because I'm going to finish off with David Teague's press conference. I've spoken about the fact that he's losing us, and he could have lost the player. He might be losing the players. But Teague, it was insipid. It was meek. There was no conviction at all in your words at all. And I felt for you because it was like you don't have answers and there isn't direction, and it's not strong. You need to be strong. So if you're going to fucking patronise the supporters and be condescending towards the supporters, you need to be also strong. So your messaging needs to be honest and strong. So please, don't say things like, I can't wait for our supporters to get there next week for the game against Brisbane. You fucking know we're going to be there no matter what. So please don't call on us. Do not give us the platitudes. We need to know what you're doing. We need to know that you're strong behind the scenes. Again, something's being done. Something is actually being done because right now we're not seeing anything. So please do not include us, okay? Do not include us. We don't want to hear that. And finally, 80,000 members, okay? They're going to shove that and ram that down our throat. okay, as a positive. There were 30,000 members there last night. It wasn't even that. I don't know how many Carlton members were there last night. It was a poor crowd. Nothing to cheer about. No excitement. I watched Carlton supporters' faces. I felt sorry for them. How many left early? There was no even little bits of momentum where we could at least be excited. So what are we cheering for? What are we supporting? So please, David, don't include us in your crap, mate, because we're not interested now. I don't want to hear that. From a supporter, I don't want to hear you asking us to turn up. Because we do it. We've been doing it. Okay, we've been doing it with this fucking football club. Okay, for God knows how long. Through the shit, mate. And this fucking football club need to get their act together. Simple as that. We'll be there, okay? We'll be there against Brisbane. You don't need it to tell us, okay? You don't need to tell us. Fucking do your job.